Hey guys, Jay here. Just a little bit of a video on a league starter kind of topic. I have not only tried to work on my own league starter builds, but also I have watched a ton of videos in the last couple of days, maybe the last week or so, especially since the patch note came out. And here, just basically are my top 5 league starter video guide for 3.24. These are not my videos. I just want to show you what are the videos that I think are the best, especially best for new player. This is very important because if a player in PoE is somewhat veteran or have a decent knowledge in PoE, you probably can look at a simple path of building linked, and you know where the passive goes, you know what kind of gears you want to look for. But the videos that I want to mention in this case, they have a very detailed kind of leveling guide, everything that is included from level 1 to like level 100 or to the end game. That is very helpful for new players. So yeah, if you are a new player to PoE, I would recommend one out of those 5 builds. They are different builds, they are different classes. So watch those videos and look for your playstyle, which build you think looks the most fun, and then you can go ahead and try to play those builds. Follow the instruction. They all have very detailed guide either on the notes section of the POB or from like a spreadsheet or forum guide, and also very detailed explanation in the videos themselves. So just quickly show you the videos. I will leave the link to all of them in the description, absolutely. First one is Subtractor. He is updating the Frostblink Fire Trap Elementalist starter guide here. This is a build that he made a couple weeks ago, and it is one of my favorite starter that I have ever played, because it scaled extremely well to the end game. It have a very nice playstyle of moving very fast through the map. You have your movement skill as your damaging skill while clearing as well. So you deals a ton of damage while moving very fast through the map. You have proliferation, which is extremely nice for pack clearing in maps. And you also have potentially a lot of single target damage. You can scale this build to easily dot cap. So that is 35 million damage per second, by the way. So yeah, check it out. He has very nice update on the build, and also very detailed explanation on how you can start a build out from the very early setup in the like Act 1, Act 2 until like the end game. So yeah, I'll leave the link in the video, and then you can follow it if you like this kind of playstyle. I would not like to play the footage. Well, you know what? Let me actually see. I will play a few seconds of footage.
You do have combustion right now.
I think.
Really.
Okay.
Lack of monsters. So yeah,
Okay.
hey, people were saying melee was dead. We got melee right here, and you can see the cooldown.
I think I should just turn off the audio, right? You just basically frostblink through the map and everything dies in a flame. So that is very nice. Second build is from Zizeren. This is the explosive arrow build. This is like one of the most famous content creator in PoE already, so you probably know about this build before you watch my video. But still, because the quality of the video is so good, the level of details in the guide is so good, and the potential to basically go from the start to like clearing everything in the game of this build is so huge. Yeah, this build and the previous one are both like recommended in my top 10 build for league start video anyway. I know I put that video out before the league start, so that is not entirely certain that all of those builds worked. And in fact 2 out of 10 actually got nerfed and be either almost unplayable or much weaker than its previous form. So here are the builds that actually for sure will work. So explosive arrow, if you like this playstyle of explosive arrow, well, you know, he has an extremely detailed guide here, and also a lot of written stuff that you can check it out. I will make sure to leave the link in the video in case you haven't seen it by some reason. Next one, this one is from a smaller content creator, you know, still bigger than me, much bigger than me, but it is a playstyle that I would like to, you know, shout out more to more people out there because I think it's very cool. It is the trap build. So trap build
Hello,
is
welcome to my explosive trap of
is
shrapnel
notoriously good for bossing damage. As you can see, this is his showcase on a league start setup, and he like kills the Minotaur in like 1 second, or maybe a little bit more than 1 second there. Insane damage potential. The playstyle of the build of the trap build is different from most other playstyle. Maybe is somewhat similar to mine builds, but you know, I personally enjoyed a lot of trap builds, you know, back in few leagues before. Lately, I have not been playing traps, but maybe I will pay a visit to the trap archetype this league because, yeah, it's been a long time. Maybe we got some new fun toys to play with all the Transfigured Gem. Maybe there's something potentially good there, but here he is using the explosive trap and playing as a trickster. This build also can be very, very good from level 1 and can scale to endgame contents. It can do Valdos maps, it can do Uber bosses very nicely. So yeah, check it out. I think this is a very, very cool build and a very good video. Fourth one, this is, okay, I'm sorry, I'm doing this, pause. Well, this is from Local Hole. He is having a Blade Vortex Pathfinder, which is a poison build. I think this is very kind of underrated League Start archetype, the poison one. Normally you see League Start, you will say for Pathfinder you normally see Toxic Rain, so it is chaos damage, but it is actually not poison. But in this case, it is a Blade Vortex poison build, and the poison build for Pathfinder is extremely nice because it has the proliferation effect, so you can clear through maps really well. You have enough potential damage to do like almost everything in the game with almost no gear before, you know, the pinnacle bosses and everything. With a little bit of investment, you can also do the pinnacle bosses quite easily. So yeah, I think this is a very comfortable playstyle. You cast Blade Vortex with Unleash once in a while, you move through maps and everything dies around your character, which is very nice. Okay, the last one, this is the Pathfinder Toxic Rain from Pidgeot 2. I think I pronounced the name that way is correct. So Pathfinder and yeah, Toxic Rain just like best friend for League Starter because of the flash sustain, because the damage, the playstyle, the save, and the slow of the Toxic Rain and everything. You are gonna find a lot of details here that will help you like go through from level 1 into the end game and further into the end game as well. This is this is also like a build that can do any kind of content. So all 5 of the builds in this list actually are capable of doing like all sort of contents in the game. They are not like tailored to one specific kind of content. For example, some build can only do very well in Sanctum, some build can do really well in Delve, but they do not have a lot of clear to do maps really well, to do maps quickly. But these 5 builds can actually do everything in the game. That is why I kind of recommend it to newbie players to try out like those kind of builds, because they can, you know, get you to anything that you just randomly interested in when you progress through maps. Because as a new player, there's a huge amount of content in POE that you can, you know, have your chance to try it out. And maybe someone like Blight, someone like Delirium, someone like Delve, someone like Sanctum is different from people to people. And so yeah, those kind of builds that are like jack of all trades, they can do everything, are kind of nice in this situation where you don't exactly know what kind of content you like. in my opinion, you should try out the kind of content that you feels comfortable with, you like to do it, and then you can have the perseverance to play it a lot. That translate into more money, because any strategy for money making in this game is actually boils down to boil down to divines per hour. So everyone is caring about the divines, but in my opinion, actually the hours is the one that matters more. If you enjoy the game, if you enjoy your character, you play more, you have more money. That is basically it. Because so far, at least before the leak, there's no way we can tell on what kind of strategy is going to make the most amount of money in the game, because prices change. It depends on demand and supplies in the market. I will not go too deep into it, but yeah, any strategies can be do with this kind of builds. Maybe when you like something, you can tweak it into specifically doing better at that specific content. Okay, so enough of the videos from other people. I would like to talk a little bit about what I have been working on for the last 2 days. But turns out I try to test out different league starter ideas in the Affliction League, the current league. But so far the General's Cry is gone, basically gone. It is two socket intensive. The playstyle is worse than before. Before you have the instant Warcry keystone that is not part of the link of the General's Cry, so you can generate corpses with Cyclone and Caswa channeling Desecrate, and then you can just put the instant Warcry, the General's Cry on. So it will cast instantly, and we will consistently summon the Mirage warriors that do the skill for you. That is basically how the General's Cry build work. Right now you no longer have instant Warcry as a keystone. If you want to have instant Warcry, you have to use the Call to Arms gem, which for other Warcries, for example, any build that doesn't go down to the bottom left corner to grab the Call to Arm, basically cannot use Enduring Cry. But right now every build that can afford like 2-3 socket can use Call to Arm and Enduring Cry, which is very nice. A lot of regen and a lot of endurance charges, so that is very strong. But in terms of General's Cry is the main skill, so it has a limited number of links to scale the damage, and you cannot sacrifice one more link to just basically get Call to Arm for the instant Warcry. It will be too much damage lost, and if you don't use instant Warcry, well, the playstyle is absolutely dog shit. I have to say that. Unless GGG do something to fix it, then the General's Cry is dead, basically. I have a video on Warcries, just some ideas before test idea, because we are not in the 3.24 patch yet. But I can pretty much safely jump to the conclusion that General's Cry is dead, because the playstyle is way too terrible, and then the damage you can get out of it is debatable. I mean, you can squeeze out a lot of damage from the build, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it for what you have to go through. So yeah, and the other character that I have been playing yesterday is a Unholy Might. It is a Boneshatter Unholy Might build, and I want to talk a little bit about it because after playing it, I think it is a little bit under the standard that I will accept for it to be a good league starter. So it is the Boneshatter, and it has to be Boneshatter of Complex Trauma. Why? Because that skill does not scale the trauma stack more than 10 stacks. So the damage that your character take cap at a certain level that is manageable for for a Pathfinder, because normally what you do for Boneshatter is you go for Juggernaut. Juggernaut has a node that basically gives you infinite regen when you hit yourself with Boneshatter. So that is very easy to do. But Pathfinder is not a jug. So why do I want to go Pathfinder for the Boneshatter? Because I want to use Unholy Might. Unholy Might is a buff that got changed this league. Before, it gave 30% of physical damage added as extra chaos damage, which is quite nice, but is very hard to utilize in most cases. However, right now it becomes convert. One second. The buff that grant 100% of physical damage convert to chaos. So you convert all of your physical base damage into chaos. That is very cool. And then it has 25% chance to inflict wither on hit. So the idea that I have is, because Boneshatter is a skill that can provide a lot of flat physical damage. So all those physical damage can be converted to chaos. And we also have extra wither chance with the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder also have a 50% increased effect of wither. So if you don't know what wither is a buff that can stack to 15 times. Each stack applies 6% increased chaos damage taken per stack. With the Pathfinder Ascendancy, it becomes 9% because of 50% increased effect. So 15 stack of that is 145% increased chaos damage taken. And that is extremely strong. So I want you to Boneshatter with Pathfinder. That is the main reason, and also because we have a lot of flash sustain, so that is a lot of quality of life. The flash sustain, how I plan to use, and it actually kind of worked with the complex trauma, because I am using this mod here. 15% of damage taken from hits is leech as life during effect. If you don't know what it is an unveiled mod that can be crafted to any utility flask after you unveiled it from the Cinder Swallow's urn. So what you need to do is to buy a Cinder Swallow's urn and then try to unveil the 15% damage taken from hits is leech as life here. So you either has to farm it in a league start environment. I forgot about it because when I play, I already have the mod unlocked in my crafting bench, so I just crafted on a flask and just go, and it worked. Because complex trauma, because Boneshatter complex trauma doesn't scale your damage taken, your damage you deal to yourself to infinite. So this mod can comfortably sustain you along with all the flask thing that is going on with the Pathfinder, because you have like recover 4% life mastery, 4% life on flask use, which is a lot of the time, and you also have the note from Pathfinder that the life flask doesn't cure or something. You have a lot of recovery basically that can cover the self damage of Boneshatter of complex trauma. But that is a lot of things to go through. I think I will revisit the build in a different state, because on the league start kind of environment, I am checking sources of Unholy Might here. So you either use a melee build, you either use Death's Hand here, which is a questionable weapon. I would say it has a quite low amount of physical damage at the start, but for Boneshatter, since you can have quite a good damage multiplier with it, you still can deal sufficient damage for mapping. But the attack speed is not good, the damage is not good, only crit chance is good, so you want to go for crit, right? And this is all good. It's just a somewhat subpar weapon, but it is manageable. The other way is to use the Broken Faith here. So basically you sacrifice your shield slot for Unholy Might. If you don't have no energy shield, this is quite easy to achieve actually if you have, like, for example, because your build doesn't have a lot of energy shield in the first place. It is very, you know, evasion, armor kind of defense, and you are life based. You don't have a lot of energy shield, so simply use like a blood rage or something. It will degen the energy shield constantly, and you will have 0 energy shield, and you have Unholy Might. Or you can take Agnostic Keystone to make your energy shield become 0. Right? Because the shield innately have 20, like a little bit over 30 energy shield here, so that is the way you have to deal with it, right? It also have Create Profane Ground instead of Consecrated Ground, so this is actually pretty nice for offensively, because Profane Ground, first of all, it reduced the resistance of enemies by 10%, and that include Chaos Resistance, and also have 100% chance to increase 100% increased chance to receive a critical strike, which basically, to my understanding, right, I'm not sure exactly if it worked like this, but to my understanding, that means if you have 15% chance to crit, then the enemies have 100% increased chance to receive the crit, then that should be crit cap. Yeah, so if it works that way, then this shield can be very good. If it is just like 100% increased, it is, you know, whatever. And the other way, more into the end game, is going to be a cluster jewel notable, 10% chance to gain Unholy Might for 4 seconds on critical strike. So that's basically the mod, half of the mod here. If you build crit, then you have 100% crit. So, you know, if you hit fast enough, you should have like reliable Unholy Might, and you can use a better weapon than the Death's Hand here. The other sources are kind of conditional or hard to manage. So yeah, those are the ways that can gain Unholy Might. And so that is the idea of the build. But again, you have to go through too much in order to make the build work that way. So I don't think it is going to be a viable league starter. So I failed right there. And that is why there's no video on it as a league starter. Maybe later in the league, I will revisit this idea and, you know, try to make a character that is good, because I'm very interested in the Unholy Might buff. The only other way that is very easy to do with Unholy Might build is actually minions, and I would like to try it in my character personally, instead of like going for minions, because if you do it on the minion, it feels different. The minion still deals damage, so no matter which kind of damage, I don't feel the differences, basically. Yeah, so that is everything I want to talk about in this video. Most importantly, 5 of the videos that I think are very good, very easy to follow, very detailed, that can help newer players out there who want to start this league strong. Me personally, I am going for a new skill that I don't know exactly if it will be strong or not, so I would not recommend you to follow my footstep. But I also have a build guide that is a Summon Raging Spirit, Popcorn Summon Raging Spirit. Nothing new. I have a little bit of a twist on it, and I released a video on it, and I can confidently tell you that Popcorn Raging Spirit is strong this league, and it, you know, can carry you all the way through the end game. It is also a build guide that I have put detailed leveling and tips and trick on the notes, and also leveling tree, leveling gear, etc. So I will leave that video in the description as well, or, you know, even in the end of this video. So thanks for watching. That is everything for today, and see you in the next video. I will have some video on money making that is going to be released before the league start. So I will share my strategy, and also talk a little bit about how you can potentially, you know, form your own strategy, at least in the league starter kind of environment. Because later into the league, there will always be some kind of meta for money making, and people with not a lot of time to play will, you know, most likely follow the meta because it's the most efficient thing. But in the league starter environment, there are, you know, a lot of potential for a lot of different strategies that can actually be good. So yeah, that is everything. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the channel if you think this is helpful to you or interesting in some case. And see you in the next video. Peace.